Good morning. Today is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and I was out in the garden doing a few things, so I thought I would do an update because I got a lot of work done this weekend. A lot of projects done. There are a few things that have changed, so I'll bring you into the garden and let you see what's new and what kind of progress I've made getting the 2020 garden in the ground. So as you can see in my bean beds, I have got some flowers on my purple royalty beans, and I also have tender green bush beans, and then along the fence I have rattlesnake pole beans, but I'm real excited to see all these flowers. And my sugar snap pea right here is just gone crazy. It's filled up with peas. Me and my kids just stand here and eat the peas right off the bush. And sometimes we bring them in the house and put them in the stir fry. And they're delicious, and we love growing those. And right here, I still got broccoli and cauliflower going. And I just noticed that some of my cauliflower are trying to start sprouting. We've had a really warm last week, and these are my new cauliflower that I put in. They haven't been able to head up because it's just been so warm. They've started to sprout, so I need to start picking the ones that are sprouting. And under here I just still have my cabbage. Just picked another one, so I've harvested about 2 of these cabbages. There's about 4 or 5 more left under there, and I just have that row cover on there to try and deter the cabbage moths from laying their worms in there. I do have a problem with snails here. I have tons of snails, so I put the snail bait down, but it helps, but it definitely doesn't do away with the snail problem. And then over here got my little beds that have the carrots coming up. These are my Danvers carrots I planted in early spring, I think in like January. And then I have some yellow onions in here. And then back here, I have yet to fill this up. I've only got this corner done on this bed. This weekend I planted a bunch more beans and peas. I planted some speckled butter peas, some Mississippi peas that I'm going to be planting, and also some more of the burpee stringless bush beans, and some blue lake pole beans, and more dragon tongues. Those are dragon tongues right there. Those are bush beans. And then I planted a couple tomatoes out here, a San Marzano, and then over there I have the orange azoica. I've planted the San Marzanos before several times, but this is my first time planting the azoica this year. Heard good things about it. And then under here in this little tub I have cabbage and cauliflower in here. And then here is some bantam corn that my kids planted. I just planted some more seed for some silver queen corn that I'm going to plant in another tire that I have. And then here I planted out some fire feather and black beauty. The fire feathers, they look like the San Marzanos paste tomatoes, but they're red with orange fiery streaks all through them. I found those on Amazon. Never seen them before, and I like to grow new things that I haven't seen. And also, it's the first time growing the black beauties, which are a black beefsteak tomato. And this cute little trellis I picked up at Ross for like $9.99. And if you are into garden art and trellises and stuff like that, don't pass up Ross in the early spring, because they put that stuff out super early. They have excellent prices on them, and they mark them down super quick to move them out for different seasons. So definitely check out your local Ross, TJ Maxx, and stuff like that for garden trellises and garden art and pots and different things. So here I got some Lola banana peppers that I picked up from the feed store as starts. Still haven't planted my lettuce. Still on the to-do list, but I have some romaine that has went to seed and my Swiss chard that's been growing here forever. Still picking carrots out of these. These are my fall carrots. Different ones in here. I got some Danvers and some Nantes. I even planted some rainbow carrots in there, and we have been getting some huge carrots in this little bed because they're just in there, they're just steadily growing, and every once in a while I'll put some more bone meal down to kind of feed that. And here I've got some cucumbers that I germinated. I just planted out my seeds for my Max Pack cucumbers in the greenhouse, and some other ones, some more Market Moors. And these are the Armenian cucumbers. You may have seen that I planted those in my greenhouse back in January, and they never germinated, and I was getting ready to throw them out and throw the dirt out and start again, and I had a couple that sprouted. So those are the Armenian yard-long cucumbers. And here I have some, that's a Market Moor right there, and then those are the Munchers. And this is another one of those Zola banana peppers. And then in here is just, let's see what this says, Space Master Bush. So this is from the seeds that I found in the drawer that had already tried to germinate, that were really old, that I just planted for the heck of it, and lo and behold, there is a cucumber plant that grew from that. So that wasn't a total waste. So, you know, if you do find old seeds, don't throw them out. Just try and germinate them. If you don't, they don't do anything, then you haven't lost anything. So over here, my pentas and violas are blooming again in my pots. And this is a new workbench that I found. Actually, my store neighbor, they've been living here for about 40 years, and they're in their 90s, and they just went to a nursing home, and their family was over cleaning out their house, and that's one of the things that was in one of their sheds that they gave to me. And I'm happy to have a little workbench in my garden now. And I've been pulling French breakfast radishes and scarlet globe radishes out of here. Even pulled some of the carrots that I planted in fall that germinated. But these radishes, especially the French breakfasts, are doing really good. And I'm getting ready to finish pulling all those out, plant some more. And then here, got another one of those banana peppers, the Lolas, and some of my striped petunias. And this is, I can't remember if it is, oh, it's Cherokee Purple. And this is the first and only hey, don't pick them unless they're ripe. My daughter's over there picking cherry tomatoes off of one of my cherry plants. But this is one of the first and only transplant tomatoes that I bought from Home Depot this year. And I tried to grow these last year, and I even bought seeds and plants, and they never did anything for me. So I just wanted to give them another try. Wasn't going to waste my time planting out a bunch of more seeds, but I wanted to at least get a head start on the transplants. And this one is filled with little flowers, as you can see, so it's about to do something. I've been fertilizing my transplants and small tomato plants with a mixture of the kelp meal and the fish emulsion, and that has really helped the transplants after planting them in the ground, and even after I transplant them up into bigger pots. So the kelp meal definitely caused a lot of them to start flowering early, but I just pinched the flowers off and kept going with that. And here are my eggplants. 2 of them, as you can see, are coming back. They got the green on them. The third one still hasn't. I just planted some long purple eggplant seeds in my greenhouse this weekend. So I'll plant a couple more, but I really don't need that many eggplant. I had way too many last year, and we don't eat them that often, and they're not really something that you can preserve very well. So I'm really the only one that likes them. So I think that 4 plants, 5 plants is as much as I need. Here's some sunflowers. And then this is new. So I had been telling you guys that I was going to move my tires and plant them in the back corner. And I actually, we've been moving them. A couple of them still have sugar snap peas in them, but the ones that wasn't, we moved back here. And then me and my son went one afternoon. We went to the park, and then after that we went riding around in the neighborhood on trash day and found these. We picked up 5 new tires. So they were already painted, so at some point somebody was using them for planters already, but that I was really happy to find these really close to my house and drag them home so I could go ahead and start planting out all of my tomatoes in them, or at least a good bit of them. So that's what I got going on in this corner, is tomato plants. And this is a piece of iron that my father-in-law had a welding shop, and this was something that he had laying around after he closed his shop when he retired. And my husband brought it home for me, and it's got some Kellogg's breakfast, some fire feather, and some Napa Chardonnay tomatoes in there. And there's a garden helper. And I got pink ox hearts, some more Napa Chardonnay, dark DeWitchies. And this planter here is actually a fire ring that we made when my son was in Cub Scouts in 1st grade in a tiger cub, and that is his troop number that's on there that I've used for planting. And then here we got some blueberry clackamas and some chocolate stripe. The blueberry clackamas I grew last year, loved them. They're just like a large cherry blue tomato.